No, man.
Hi everyone, it's NastyJones. Welcome to another episode. This is NastyJones TV, and I have here in the house Sham Santolu. Guys, would you like to say a bit of a welcome?
Welcome, guys. I am happy to join you guys on this show tonight, and I hope it's going to be a very interesting conversation.
Yeah, it's nice to be here as
Yeah.
well.
Nice. We'll be going through a couple of takes. Uh, what do we want to see from Arsenal next season? How do you want Arsenal to perform? Do we like the way Arsenal performed last season? Do we want to see more from Arsenal? Do we want to see a change in dynamics? I mean, we've been seeing some certain play which Arsenal have been making. I know everyone is not happy with that. And do we want to see something more, or we satisfied with the way things are? Shams, you can go first. Let me know what you think about what you want to see from Arsenal next season.
We had a relatively good season last season, but from point of view or from the fans' point of view, it was a bad season. We ended up the season at second as well, top season running, no trophies, semi-final of the Champions League, which has obviously that was an improvement from the previous season. I think what we need to do this season is we still need more signings. I still think one of the
More
reasons,
signings. We need
yeah,
more
one of the reasons,
signings.
one of the reasons we failed last season was that we were short in some areas. Look at when we had Odegaard out, Wannery came in, couldn't do much. We had Saka for 3 months out, and we don't really have like for like replacement. So we still need more signings in the midfield. We were short. If you take away, we have at the moment we have Odegaard, you have Declan Rice, you have the new guy Zubimendi. So if you take away all these guys, say two of them is out injured, who replaces these guys? Sambi Lokonga cannot be trusted, and we have Fabio Vieira. I think he's a good player, but he's very fragile for the Premier League. So I think we need someone in the mode of Baleba. I think he's a box-to-box midfielder. He can be a very good replacement. And then also, towards the end of last season, though I think Rice was our best player. But towards the end of last season, I think he got tired. He can have. I think he played more games. If I'm correct, he played more games than the rest of the team. So we need players who could come in and replace these guys. And it's going to be a long season, as usual. 38 games. You have the Carabao Cup. If you go to the semi-final, you're looking at about around another 4-5 games, 6 games thereabout. There's the FA Cup, there's the Champions League. So overall, if we plan to go far in these competitions, we're looking at about close to 60 games in a season. So
you're saying we need more signings. That's your take for next season now, before the transfer window closes.
Definitely, because not just signings, we need to be ruthless. If you're going to bring in players, you have to ship out some of these guys. One of Martinelli, Trossard has to go. So we need to be ruthless. Look at Liverpool, for example. They sold Nunes and Diaz, and with a combined fee of say about 100 million, which is a good business. So we need to be ruthless. We need to let some of these guys go, bring in direct replacement, and start the season very well. And hopefully we don't have crazy, nasty injuries to our key players. And I think,
Thank you very much. Tori, let me hear from you. What do you think we need next season? Or how do you think we should play?
I think for me, they approached the summer and they came in with a plan, right? The plan was we are going to fill up all the holes in the squad and we're going to sort out each position, right? So we needed a backup goalkeeper. They sorted out the backup goalkeeper. We had Partey and Jorginho relieving, which I believe they replaced with Zubimendi and Norgard. I don't believe we are short in the midfield, especially in the defensive part of the midfield and central midfield. We still have options like Merino in there. But when it comes to the attacking midfielders, you have Odegaard and Wannery, who is obviously young. And they've gotten in the striker. Then
Oh,
you have a
when you
striker.
say in
You
terms
have
of attacking midfielder, we have Nwaneri. Is Nwaneri an attacking midfielder to you?
yes. The boy is an attacking midfielder because he's those kind of players that are built for operating in the pockets. You know, that's why he's so good at dribbling, receiving the ball. You know, running through players. The only problem I have with him right now, and this is because he's young, is like his decision making is still pretty poor. Like he wants to run into players rather than just find that pass or find the right space and moment to make that shot. So with time, his game will refine, but is that player is built to operate within the pocket. You don't want to put him too far wide. You know, it's like I never understand Foden in Man City playing on the wings. Like
Well,
Foden as well is built
he
to
played far
play
wide
in
against
the
City
midfield.
last season and he scored a banger.
Yeah, that's why he's
That
so
was when
good as
Saka
well.
was injured.
Is the kind of player that you can put him outside as well, out wide as well. But I believe his best position is in the midfield. Same thing I felt about Emil Smith Rowe. You know, Emil Smith Rowe played left wing for us and he did very well. But
Yeah, yeah.
Emil's best position is when he was playing in the midfield. So really, you look at Gyökeres finally, and you look at Aves looking sharp. I believe Arteta is going to try out formations as well, where you see Aves and Gyökeres playing off each other. I think that's another tactics that the league is not ready to see. Um, for me, it's like I knew that the 300 million watches they were talking about was not a thing. Um, Arsenal was going to spend in and around 200 million. It's what they've always done at the time when they really want to invest in the squad. It's around that 200 to 20 kind of money spent. And now we've done about 193 million pounds. When he signed Madueke, I knew that was it. No, there's no other winger coming in. When he signed Madueke, I knew that was it because it's 55 million pounds. They are not going to sign two wingers now. It's just not going to happen, right? So since he's gotten Madueke now, the club is not going to go out and drop another 70, 80 odd million. The money is just not there. Arsenal is one
Yeah.
of the only clubs who is
No,
running on self-profit basis, meaning we cannot spend the way City are able to spend, the way you know clubs like Paris Saint-Germain
Chelsea
are able to
spending.
spend. The only reason why even Liverpool do not spend, if you look at our record, we outspend Liverpool over the course of the last 5, 6 years. The only reason why you see Liverpool spending like this summer is because they didn't spend last summer. And their fans were complaining, oh, they didn't sign anybody for club. They didn't do this, they didn't do that. But now they saved up that money and now they're going out this season. What you're going to
But
realize next season,
it's
they're
an
going to,
outrageous spending for me.
yeah, but
to be
because
honest,
they didn't spend last season, you know.
if you look
And
at the sorry, go ahead, Tolu.
yeah, and at this point, I think it's a issue I'm having with Arsenal fans as well is the idea that we need a perfect squad. I've looked at many teams over the years. The teams that go ahead to win don't necessarily have a perfect squad. When you start discussing perfect squad is when you're talking of the Man City doing 4 titles in a row. You know, those ones
Yeah.
doing like trebles. Those are those. But I mean, to do a Premier League or a Champions League, that's what we're asking for this season. The squad is good enough. You don't need perfect. I don't think he needs perfect. And I've always maintained this, even when he didn't have a striker. I said, listen, make the team work. We saw PSG last season, they were playing without a striker. Make the team work. And he did 89 points. We lost by a game. You can imagine, just one game. And I'm like, so I've never made that excuse for him, like he doesn't have enough. Make the squad work. Last season, however, is the season where I went. They made wrong decisions in the summer, especially when they let go of the attacking support and then brought in Merino, and our attack was left to suffer. Vesto is hamstring, Saka tore his hamstring. But fortunately, those guys are back now, and they've added to that. And as much as I don't like the Madueke signing, it's still an option. So it's left to Arteta now. He decided to spend that 55 million on Madueke,
Mm.
make it work. But as far as Eze or any other person, I really don't see the club signing any other person this window. I think all
Thank
they
you.
want to focus on now is getting players out.
Thank you, Throne. Shams, anything to say on that?
I think to start with, I think in football, as far as I know, there's nothing like perfect squad. There's nothing. It doesn't exist. There's nothing like what's the definition of perfect squad? That to me does not exist in football. So whoever is saying they want a perfect squad, how do we
But did
define?
you see a perfect squad in PSG
Hold on.
over the course
Now
of last season,
this is what
winning the
happened.
Champions
You're
League?
saying
Is that PSG
something
squad
that
not a
looks
perfect
like
squad?
no, okay, something that looks like a
They
perfect
didn't
squad.
have a striker though.
That word perfect to me does not exist in football. Something that looks closer to that
Yeah.
is the acronym Galactico. Something that looks closer to that. That was when Madrid started the likes of Beckham, Luis Figo, Zidane. They had those guys then. But for me, I'm looking at what competition do we prioritize. So if you're saying PSG had a near perfect squad or they did not play without a striker, you're talking about PSG, they were playing the French league. Have you ever imagined PSG being in the Premier League with that same squad? Are you telling me they might really do well, but I'm not sure they will be able to challenge the likes of Liverpool. And again,
But they challenged Liverpool and they beat Liverpool though.
it's not about it was just one game. It was just two games.
They
They played
beat the
two games
top
home and
four
away.
teams in
No,
England.
they lost to Liverpool. They lost to Liverpool. They both won each other 1-0. Liverpool won in France, and then PSG won in England. So to me, I don't want to use that as a yardstick because they had no striker and they were playing in France. If
Yeah.
PSG was playing in England, there would have been a very perfect reason for us to put that argument together.
All
And
right.
also, one thing I've always said again and again, and you guys are beginning to agree. I've always said this: Arsenal is a business club. They are not really those guys. I think over the years, I think the fans are beginning to make their voices known to the owners. But I've always said this: Arsenal cannot and will never be on the same level with City. And unfortunately, some of the things when Arteta came, I said this: Arteta has to work with what he has at Arsenal. Arsenal is not City. City spent close to 200 million in January. Arsenal can never do that. I'm not sure. And take a look at the sale of Darwin Nunes and this other guy. What's the striker? Darwin
Oh,
Nunes,
Yes.
winger, yes. So if you
yes.
add that money together and put it with what they paid for
Take a ticket.
Florian Wirtz, that means they spend less than £30 million if you add everything together. So at the end of the day, we have at the moment we have spent more than Liverpool.
Okay, so moving on, just a quick one. We're not gonna spend much time on this. What players do you see Arsenal signing next before the transfer window ends? Tolu, I'll come to you. Do you see Arsenal signing any other player apart from the ones you've just signed?
As it has been doing over the years, I'm scared because it looks like since we bought Gokeres, the hype about we buying more players has actually gone down,
Yeah.
and it's common for Arsenal. Do not be surprised. We might not get anybody until the end of the
So
transfer
you're saying
window.
we're not buying anyone again to the end of the
I'm not saying
till?
we are not buying, but it looks like if this Arsenal I know over the years, but they might get some guys on loan. I heard about Rodrigo on loan, Baleba. I'm not sure Arsenal would do such deals, but I still feel I can't. I can't trust Merino when it comes
Everyone
to.
is saying we need an attacking midfielder, someone that can
We
come
need
in and
someone. We need someone we
someone
can't
that can
rely
come in
on.
and shuffle Odegaard, someone that
Yeah, we
can
can't.
bench Odegaard. So and everyone is saying eyes on Izzy. Tolu, what do you think of that? Eyes on Izzy. What's your take on that?
But me at this point, Eze is a luxury. I remember
Is
last
this a
season
luxury?
when yeah, it's a luxury. I remember last season when, like I said, the discussion. I didn't really mean like perfect. So I'm just saying like Arsenal fans keep saying it's not enough, and we want like two very good players in every position and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Last season, I was saying when the season started, Liverpool do not have a defensive midfielder. Liverpool don't have a defensive midfielder.
Do you have
They don't
Gavin
have a
back?
party. No, hold on. Gravenberch is actually a central midfielder who was made to play in that position. Naturally, he plays in central midfield. And I was like, oh, Liverpool don't have a party. They don't have a Caicedo. That was why they were going for Caicedo. They missed out. I was like, how are Liverpool supposed to do this? They don't have a centre back support for Konate. Konate is injury prone. But guess what? Liverpool put slot in Gravenberch, McAllister, Zlobozlai, and they went ahead to win the league. So
Mm.
now, when I look